Hey, good afternoon, tea sippers. Good afternoon. It's Memorial Day. Shout out to all the vets who fought for the country, who lost their lives, passed on. May you rest in power and peace. Thank you for protecting us from our enemies. Greatly appreciate it. Hey, tea sippers, come on in. I'm not going to be here long. I don't plan to be here long. I just had a couple of people come into my comments. I guess to, I don't know. Let me hush. I don't know. I don't know why. I guess just to remind me of what's going on or what's hitting the internet. I mean, y'all, I don't know if y'all ain't figured it out yet. I'm going to beat what I want to beat. And ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing changed. But Jeff Metcalf. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that. He the only one done changed. He the only one done changed. And I explain in just a minute. Y'all come on in. Come on in. Y'all wanted to hear what I had to say. I was trying. I don't think I like this in my ear right now. Oh no. I was trying to keep my peace until something changed. Really changed. Not just people trying to stir up, keep it in the algorithm, you know, finding something to make their numbers pop again, you know. I feel you. But I didn't want to jump on that, you know what I mean? So that's why I stayed away from it. Until something changed that I hadn't already talked about. And as far as Karmelo Anthony goes, and his tried as an adult, they've been said that. They said that in the beginning. So I didn't quite understand why people was jumping on that as if it was devastating. I started to put, oh, devastating news. Oh my God. They're going to try him as an adult. They already said that. They said that early on. They said that he couldn't get life because at the time of the incident he was 17. What else did they say? It was something else. I can't remember. It was two things that would not apply to him. But he ain't been indicted. Still, 6 weeks. Ain't nothing changed. Except he graduated, he turned 18, and he gonna get his diploma. He still graduates, but it's fascinating to me. I mean, the stand your ground laws have not changed. The stand your the right to protect yourself by any means necessary when you're being bullied and double teamed, that ain't changed. So I don't understand why people wanted me to even come on here and say something, knowing good and damn well they wasn't going to like what I had to say. Because nothing has changed other than Jeff Metcalf. But I'm going to tell you about him in just a little old minute. I thought I had before. Yeah, ain't nothing changed but his feelings. Cause baby, day one, wasn't he the one that said, I forgive him? The what's that song? The Jesus in me. Love the Jesus in you. Yeah, what happened? Where Jesus? Where is I walk by faith? Ain't that what his t-shirt said? What done changed? Let me tell you something. Esther has been consistent. The entitlement of the Metcalfs has been consistent. Y'all give my likes up because I ain't gonna be here long. I ain't trying to hurt nobody's feelings. I am not trying to go back and forth with people about the law in Texas. See, I don't know nothing about what laws are in other people's cities and states. But in Texas, it's called stand your ground, and that has not changed. So I'm curious to know why everybody is on this, yay, he is going to be tried as an adult. Well, what did y'all think he was going to be tried at? What did they say he was going to be tried at before? I told you I ain't going to be here long. I don't have to be here long. I don't have to, boo, because you ain't going to like what I have to say. Hold on. Oh no, I don't want to be here. Yeah, ain't nothing changed but Metcalf. And the problem with that is he was never genuine in the beginning. But see, the problem for him is when he made that statement, he thought that it was cut and dry. He thought it was simple as 1 + 1 = 2. Now them laws, see, I've been trying to tell people need to know the laws. See? They need to know the laws. Hold on, let me switch this around. Know the laws. And he thought that his son, although his sons initiated it and tried to be bullies, and Lord in heaven knows, I see exactly where they got it from. I see exactly where they got them ways from. So I know how I worded it, gonna upset some folk. Ask me, do I care? I don't care, cause the truth gonna set him free. If he a believer like he say he is. And though what he came out saying, people were shocked when he said, I forgive him. I forgive him. And the wife, his ex-wife, whatever she is to him, she said, I'm not where he's at just yet. Y'all remember that? Mama Metcalf said, oh, I ain't there yet. I'm not with they dad. God still got, she was honest. See, she was honest. To thy own self be true. She said, I'm not there yet. I hope one day I will get there. But right now, today, I'm not there. Even Hannah said, I ain't gonna be able to do that. I ain't gonna be able to say that. But oh, Jeffy boy. Oh, yes. Oh, the Victor Maitland of the family. You know. Oh, little gray hair on the side. Little ball at the top. You know, have a problem. You know, sometimes he's had his own encounters in being forceful. He have his own Diddy attack. You know. think he entitled to everything. He thought he was entitled to the cookie nookie. Force. Bullying. Oh yeah, I know where you got it from. Entitled to have something. No don't mean no. Yeah. Whoever it was should have shot him. They should have stood their ground. Maybe then he would not have been instilling that seed in his sons. I don't know why these people was inboxing me about talking about this. I don't even know why they do that to themselves. This was not on my agenda. I had made up in my mind I wasn't going to talk about it until things changed. Oh, we're so happy. He's being tried as an adult. They had already said that. Where were y'all? Y'all late to the party again. Or you wasn't listening. You were so big on this, that, and the other. Black and white. And y'all gonna look around and realize that black and white, this time, gonna land on black. Ain't that what they say when you gamble? Bet on black. In this case. Yeah. Again, I'm going to say, I don't know why they tried to stir AunTeaFee up to talk about this. I've already stated my case with this. Stand your ground. And then, after the white boy in Texas, what's it, Casey? Allison? Yeah. After he wasn't charged with murder, and he went in. He went in Carrie style. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not 4. 4 times. They knew each other. Had fought over a girl at the prom. Had planned to get it in somewhere else at another time. And he didn't get found guilty of murder. So what else was it for me to talk about? The law is still in play. And he knew that cat. He went to school with him. He stabbed him. He had a knife on school property. When everybody was clutching their pearls and taking their hat off their head saying, he had a knife at school. And then look at, I ain't gonna say God. Well, I'm gonna say God. In the Revelation, we see this case, what was the boy name? Case and Allison, or Allison Case, or whatever his name was. Yeah. They didn't want to talk about it. That's why it went quiet, y'all. That right there is why it went quiet. Because white boy in Texas, Belton High School, took a knife to school, carried somebody 4 times. 4 times. A couple of them in the back. So that means that, oh boy, Jose was leaving. Right? They ain't talking about it. And once he was found not guilty of murder, but reckless homicide, 6 months, them folks stopped talking. They wouldn't hush. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. They started rocking and whispering and got real quiet. Shh, we don't want to say nothing because him was white. And, you know, the rule, you know, how the pressure we putting on Karmelo Anthony, we don't want them to remind us that that same pressure needed to be applied to the little Allison boy in Texas. So, shh, let's just rock this out for a little while. Let's just rock the baby. Because you thought by now he'd have been indicted. Oh, it wasn't that cut and dry, was it? So, like I said, only thing that has changed, okay? Once I looked at it, I had to look at it. Only thing that has changed, hey, King of Kapala, happy Memorial Day. Only thing that has changed is Jeff Metcalf, the seed planner. The seed planner. We got to watch the seeds the adults plant in kids. Because either they grow up to be just like you in your ways, and if you entitled, you have that spirit of entitlement. If you have that spirit of hate, if you have that spirit of racism, guess what? That's the seed you gonna plant. And guess what? That seed just might get them unalived, especially in Texas. Because you don't have the right to put your hands on nobody. You don't have the right to move nobody. You don't have that right. And I don't care what color you are. You black and you put your hands on me, I'm going to try to remove you. You white, you Hispanic, you whatever, you put your hands on me, I'm going to try to remove you. See, I ain't racist with it. See, I ain't racist with it. It is what it is. Keep your hands to yourself. Male on male, female on female, female and man, man. I don't care. I really don't. Keep your hands to yourself. That's the rule. That's the seed my mama planted a long time ago. Without blinking. See, that's the seed my mama planted. And if they put their hands on you, yeah, that's it, baby, listen. Listen, even when I didn't want that to be the rule, even when I was coming up with 50 million reasons why I need to pop them first, why I'm up here in my mind thinking, no, I can't let them get their lick in first. Baby, listen, my mama was so true to it. My mama was so true to it that if I started it, if I put my hands on somebody first, she was gonna beat my cute little ugly little ass. If them people called her and told her I hit somebody, I was gonna get my ass beat. That's how true to it my mama was. Now on the flip, if they touch you, you pick up whatever. And again, I say her choice of weapon when she was instilling that seed, planting that seed, was, you know, I don't know if it flowed good to her, but she said pick up a brick. Baby, my mama did not play that. I'm not gonna say she always followed through, but that's the seed she planted. That's my point in this. So when I see what I want to smell like this. Hold on, let me make sure while I'm preaching and talking to y'all, I got my, let me see, my perfume on. Can I smell good for y'all today? Before I stop it, thank you again. This is what a Christmas gift from a childhood friend. That green Versace. Is it the green? I mean, she caught me totally off guard too. Here I was thinking I was blessing her, and she came with a blessing for me. Again, thank you, precious. Yeah. So, I'm going to talk about it for a little bit. I said I ain't going to give it but 35, 45 minutes because I got to get up on what's coming tomorrow. And a whole bunch more done came out again. Oh, they not coming. They ain't got nothing to say, do they? Yeah, because you don't know what I'm going to say. But listen, when I went to the news and saw old Jeffy boy, this is about the second time. He started out with the Lord. He started out with the Lord when it first happened. Shocked the whole wide world. Then he shocked the world again when that anti-black man, that Trump supporter guy tried to have start a war. You know, he was okay with it until he realized that his agenda wasn't necessarily his agenda. He tried to start a hate campaign with the whole race of people. And didn't but 30 people show up. So then he changed that. But then there was those situations where he tried to force his way, intimidate. Somehow or another, the news always followed him. How's that? He went to the press conference. Now, the Anthony family waited weeks, didn't say a word, took all type of abuse and threats. They didn't say a word publicly. The minute they decide to give their side somewhat, ask them for peace, pray for the family, respectful as HELL. He showed up. Wasn't invited. They sent out, he had the right to be there. No, they invited who they wanted to be there. Did they go to any protest, anything that the family was doing in remembrance of Austin or what have you? Did they go? Were they disrespectful? Because had they showed up, people would have been saying, how dare they show up and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. That's what we do. Yeah. They was respectful. But he showed up, knowing good and dang well he wasn't supposed to. There is an investigation going on, but you were trying to intimidate. Is that what Austin? Well, Hunter first. Hunter first. Is that where Hunter and Austin got it from? Because again, I'm going to say, hey, Leo, I ain't going to change my stand. Who need to be charged is Hunter. Gonna look around, they gonna keep investigating. And you're gonna lose your other son, one to the system and the other one to the grave. Cause you planting them forceful, aggressive, intimidating seeds. Yeah, sometimes, you know, sir, cause you say you are the cloth, you believe in God. You know, you had faith, no fear, no faith over fear. So you know the tree by the fruit, baby. Your fruit look real rotten right about now. Yeah. This is the seeds you planted, sir. You went there to start mess, and you brought the media. I don't know where in the hell y'all felt like this kid could not get his diploma. I said, I clearly said, even when they were saying that he may not be able to walk across that stage, I understood that. I understood that. He on house arrest. He don't need to be there no way, for a number of reasons. But as of the terms of his agreement on bond, it's house arrest. Right? Hey, stop playing. I miss you too, Precious. I miss you too. Here's something you can come to. See there? So I understood that I've been on Jeff Metcalf next posting all his cocaine and Molly business. Oh, okay, King Kapala. I didn't know you going live. You okay? Oh, please get the likes up. I ain't paid no attention to King Kapala. I'm gonna give you a mod stick so you can drop your link. Is that okay? Oh, on Facebook. Okay. What's your name on Facebook? Yeah, let them numbers drop, baby. If you can't hit the like button, get on away from over here. Get on. Yeah. So he went on over to that press conference with media. He clout chasing? Surely not. Is he mourning? Should be. Okay. So then they say he has every right to be there. Yeah, okay. He got every right to get put out. He wasn't invited. It was invite only. Yeah, your kids didn't have respect. That wasn't their tent. That was not their tent. And it appears that the coaches ain't standing behind him and saying that I told him to put anybody sit up under their tent that ain't supposed to be there, put your hands on them and put them out. Ain't nobody standing behind them with that. That's why there has not been an indictment. Nothing has changed other than Jeff Metcalf. That's the only people that done changed. The Anthonys are still quiet and respectful. Still quiet and respectful. It still don't matter what the person that they have chose to stand and speak for the family. His past it doesn't matter. That's his past. He's paid his debt to society for that. And you know, I'm not gonna continue to hang it over his head. It's a whole bunch of people who past transgressions we look over. And he gonna be one of them for me, because he's doing a mighty good job for Karmelo Anthony. But the seeds, you know, that spiritually, talk about kids, the lineage, sometimes will have to suffer for the sins of their forefathers. Have y'all ever heard that? That Metcalf seed. I don't know where Jeff got it from, but we do damn sure know he passed it on to his sons. So I suggest he uproot that entitled, forceful, my way or no way seed. Uproot that. That didn't work in your favor this time. There may be a message in there for you, sir. The message may have been for you. And I'm not being funny. I'm being serious as a heart attack. Sometimes situations are wake-up calls, and God is trying to tell us it's time to make a change. Yeah, I almost sung a song. Y'all already know. I almost went there. I almost went there. It's time to make a change. We are the people who can do it. Yeah, but seriously, that situation may have been all for you, sir. You need to ask God, what message was he trying to display in that? Because there's laws. And if you are a spiritual man, the way you were representing the day that you thought it was cut and dry, I forgive him. Where's your forgiveness now? Where is your forgiveness now? Your forgiveness that ain't there no more. So was your forgiveness sincere, sir? Or was it there because you thought it was cut and dry? You didn't know the laws. Oh yeah, you didn't want the law to apply. Oh, I forgot, AunTeaFee. They know the law, but the law is for us. It's not for them to follow. Oh yeah, I forgot. So that's when you had forgiveness in your heart, when you thought it was cut and dry. But it's 6 weeks, baby. It's 6 weeks. And I'm not saying they're not going to indict, but it has to be pretty cut and dry for the DA to be able to, that he feel like he can win this thing, even with the laws. But the problem is, he was provoked. He was touched first. He was threatened first. He was intimidated first. 2 against 1? Oh yeah. Your weapon, your brother. My weapon, my device in my bag. You choose your weapon. I chose mine. I'm gonna stand my ground. I don't have to run from you. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. It's just that simple. Keep your hands to yourself, and you live to see another day. So, sir, I suggest that's the seed you need to plant. You will look so much better going to the schools, going to Frisco ISD, saying, can I send a message? Let me heal myself. And I'm about to get emotional because I'm fussing, but I'm for real in what I'm saying. You need to ask God, what message is he trying to get across to the Metcalfs that I couldn't hear before? I'm missing now. But before you take my other son and put him in prison that I want this kid to be in, Lord, what are you trying to say? Speak to my heart, Holy Spirit. So that I don't lose my other son. So that I can pass this test. Because I'm sincerely saying to you, sir, that this test is for you. Because this is a seed you planted. And it's not going the way you want it to go. Because your heart ain't right. I am willing to bet you that this situation is about you and God, not Karmelo and Austin. They're just the two vessels that was used for God to get his point across to you. Now, you may not like my message, and I am so sorry. I am so sorry. And I am sincerely sorry for your loss. And I am very disappointed in Hunter, because Hunter started it. Hunter started it. He started the mess and hid his hands, and he turned his back on his brother. He said he turned it. He didn't even see his brother get poked after he started the mess. So, sir, I'm putting it on you, because you planted the seed. Uproot it. And ask God to plant the right seeds so that the right spirit will grow. And then you go to the school and you speak to the young kids about keeping their hands to themselves. I lost my child, and I don't want to see another one die. So in my son's name, I ask that we find a way of peacefully talking to people instead of being aggressive and entitled. Yeah. So I'm going to play this article. And I saw you being aggressive and forceful again. And I said, he still don't get it. He still don't get it. Nowhere in there did it say he was not entitled to a diploma. This wasn't even about him walking across the stage. I get that. He on house arrest. If he was still in jail, he wouldn't have been able to walk across the stage. But that don't have nothing to do with him continuing his education if he needed to. But hell, he was out, his GPA was at a point he didn't even need to do that. He just needed his diploma. So you want him to be a failure and not even be able to get his diploma because your sons attacked him? Is that what you're telling me? You don't think he's entitled to get a diploma, not walk across the stage and wave it and put his tassel on the other side? Not even that. Don't even give him his papers. Your heart ain't right. See, this is when I knew. This is when I knew that this is between you and God. This is between you and God. And he took your son. That's when I knew what this was about. And you still think that you're entitled. Now you finna make the school district tell you why he can get his diploma. You brought the media. You didn't schedule an appointment. So you made a scene so that he wouldn't get his paper. And he ain't even been indicted yet. Did you go up to the court and ask the grand jury why they ain't indicted? Did they tell you that they may have to bring up charges on Hunter? Are you realizing now, since you said Oh, let me let y'all hear this. Since you said you done read the manuscript, you done read it from top to bottom, so I need to know why he's getting his diploma. I need to know why. So I'm going to go up there and they're going to tell me, oh, you going to make them. Oh, there go that seed again. Ooh, I can sure recognize your seed, devil. Baby, you sure you not a Diddy fan? Because you sure feel like you can take what? Oh, you did take a cookie, some cookies before. Oh, yeah. Okay. I don't know why they, listen, this is not my fault. Because I was going to let them make it until there was a change. They been saying they was going to try him as an adult. That ain't new, ain't nothing new. Ain't nothing changed. Nothing. Nothing. Except Metcalf. He done moved from a representative of God to the devil. He done went from being holy to showing his true colors. He done went from looking innocent and loving to I see where he got it from. Sir, I'm going to challenge you to make a change and cry out to God sincerely, and ask him, what are you wanting me to get from this? Sincerely. Because God is saying you ain't entitled. You're not entitled. And your son broke the law. He broke the law. Yeah. Hold on, y'all. Let me play this for y'all. So I can go. Because I got to come back now. Yeah. He needs to surrender. God got something else for him to do in a positive manner, to turn this around. Because he going to lose his mind when the law, because baby, when the law stand up, because they show trying to find a way to make it work in his favor. But then they going to break the law.
Controversy.
Hold on. Hold on. Now, I didn't know I was going to be preaching today. That's my goalies, y'all. Don't put them back there. My goalies. Yeah, I didn't know that I was going to have to preach today. I didn't know that God was going to take me there. But I sincerely pray for you. Right now in my heart, I'm praying for her. And y'all, I'm really trying not to get emotional. I really am. Because even when I'm irritated, I am not without empathy. And I can only imagine the pain that you're feeling. Now, I haven't lost a kid, but I have lost a nephew at a very early age. Innocent kid. Playing basketball, been sports active all his life from the age of 3. Left church, went and played basketball, and died. And I'm going to tell you, if there's ever been a time in my life that me and God had a real tussle. We tussled spiritually. Because that was at a time and a point in my life that I had really began to sincerely surrender to God. And at that time, all I had, my prayer was for him to protect my nieces and nephews. And I felt like he betrayed me when my nephew died on the basketball court. He was a good kid. So I'm not without empathy. I hurt for you. But I also have to tell you the truth. So this is the reason why I'm asking you, sir, to sincerely reach out to God. Because this right here is about you and him. This is about you and him. This is about you surrendering wholeheartedly to him. And until you do, you're going to continue to show the world why and how your son is gone. Because you planted that seed. So you have to ask God to help you uproot it out of you first, so that you can be the example. And the future fruit that grows from you will be good fruit, pleasing to God. Because if you think what happened that day before it was all said and done, that was initiated from your boys, was pleasing to God, you ain't being truthful. And your responses to showing God you ain't being truthful. Nobody wants to take responsibility. Nobody wants to take ownership. That's an integrity thing. Integrity is spiritual. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that. Integrity, in my mind, in my heart, where I am now with God, integrity is spiritual. Because you want to be pleasing and right before God. And in order for you to get there, you have to sincerely surrender to God. Yeah. And you have to see yourself a wretch undone. Okay? You have to see yourself, your ways, and then your desire in your heart is to please him. That's how you get to integrity. Pleasing God. Doing right by God. So integrity is spiritual to me. Because my relationship with God and trying to do right by God is what made me mindful of my ways when ain't nobody looking at me. When can't nobody see me. See, I call that trying to hustle God. Yeah. You upright and righteous in front of folk, but you're a devil behind the scene. Yeah, this is an integrity thing. So I'm trying to be honest and fair. And after this, I'm not going to talk about it until things really change, because nothing has changed. And every time he pulls a stunt, I see where the boys got it from. And I don't want to see that no more. Until I see a difference in him. Okay? That's where I'm at with that. And Lord heaven knows, I was not trying to go here today. I was going to go there. It's not what I had planned to say and do. Let's go.
Criticism and a father now demanding answers. CBS Texas learned last night
Demanding.
that Anthony will get his diploma. Anthony is the Frisco High School student accused in the deadly stabbing of Austin Metcalf. Well, Metcalf's father now wants to confront the district superintendent about this decision. Our JD Miles was the only local reporter there. He brings us the story tonight.
He says he just wants answers, but when Jeff Metcalf arrived at Frisco ISD's administration building, this is what he got.
Hi there, can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to come in and speak to someone, please.
I'm sorry, we're not allowed to let anyone in without an appointment.
The father of Austin Metcalf wanted to hear directly from Frisco ISD Superintendent Mike Waldrop what he heard from media reports on Tuesday. Those reports are that Karmelo Anthony will get his diploma later this month, despite being under house arrest and charged with murdering Metcalf's son, Austin.
I've been stonewalled. Said, I understand the protocol. They said I have to make an appointment, which I did.
It was 6 weeks ago today when what
is
authorities
Stonewall?
describe as an altercation between Austin and Karmelo led to one
Stonewall.
17-year-old
Why
pulling a
can't
knife and
stop
stabbing
this?
the other 17-year-old in the chest. at a
Where's
track
Stonewall?
Outside of Frisco ISD Stadium. Anthony's parents, who claim their
Stonewall. You see the words they put? Demanding. Stonewall. Demanding. Wasn't Hunter and Austin demanding that Karmelo Anthony leave from up under that tent in the rain? Now again, this is only about him getting the paper that he already had his credits and everything before this incident happened. He already had his credits. So what does house arrest have to do with anything? So you don't want him to get his paper. Again, this is not about going to graduation or prom or none of that. Because he on house arrest. But what does not getting his diploma? See, even his argument don't make sense. It don't make sense. So now you're just bitter and angry. Spiteful. Because what you arguing about don't make sense. You know what, Faison? You sound like, I ain't gonna say your name. I know exactly who you are. And I don't like you on no other platform. And I don't like you here. So don't come back. Please don't come back. Okay? I don't like you on, I ain't liked you on no other platform before. Never have. Never. So why you here? To make my numbers go up? Hey, Vicky. You don't even like yourself. You could tell people's they spirit. And they gonna try to act like I'm just trolling. No, that's who you are. You don't like yourself. Period. Okay. Hey, everybody with some sense who has come in and I didn't see. The ones in the bushes and everyone else. Thank you for the two. Oh, I got membership. My membership. Members. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Members. Hold up. Members. Lord, if you doing what I think you doing, I thank you. I thank you in advance. Let's keep listening.
Metcalf's son, Austin.
I've been stonewalled. Said, I understand the protocol.
He says he just wants answers, but when Jeff Metcalf arrived at Frisco ISD,
how did the news people know to be there?
What he got?
Hi there, can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to come in and speak to someone, please.
I'm sorry, we're not allowed to.
Hey, Ferguson.
The father of Austin Metcalf wanted to hear directly from Frisco ISD Superintendent Mike Waldrop what he heard
Thank
from
you,
media
Vicky.
reports on Tuesday. Those reports are
Yay, 26 minutes
to go.
ago.
Later this month,
Hold up,
despite
hold
being
up.
under house arrest and charged with murdering Metcalf's
I've been stonewalled.
Your membership has been unpaused. Yay! Thank you, Lord. Thank you. Yeah, I think we went through that gracefully, huh? Thank you. Thank you. Let me finish this out, Lord. Thank you. I just want to say thank you, Lord. Oh, my God, thank you.
Call. They said I have to make an appointment, which
He
I
said,
did.
trust in
It
the
was 6
Lord
weeks
with
ago
all your
today,
heart.
What authorities describe.
Student accused of the deadly stabbing of Austin Metcalf. Well, Metcalf's father
Hey, Judy.
now wants to confront the district superintendent about this decision. Our JD Miles was the only local reporter there. He brings us the story tonight.
He says he just wants answers, but when Jeff Metcalf arrived at Frisco ISD's administration building, this is what he got.
Hi there, can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to come in and speak to someone, please.
I'm sorry, we're not allowed to let anyone in without an appointment.
The father of Austin Metcalf wanted to hear directly from Frisco ISD Superintendent Mike Waldrop what he heard from media reports on Tuesday. Those reports are that Karmelo Anthony will get his diploma later this month, despite being under house arrest and charged with murdering Metcalf's son, Austin.
I've been stonewalled. Said, I understand the protocol. They said I have to make an appointment, which I did.
It was
Stonewall.
6 weeks ago today when what authorities describe as an altercation between Austin and Karmelo led to one 17-year-old pulling a knife and stabbing the other 17-year-old in the chest at a track meet inside a Frisco ISD stadium. Anthony's parents, who claim their son was just defending himself, asked Frisco ISD to allow him to get his high school diploma.
Congratulations.
Sources say an agreement was reached that would allow that.
So I'm just curious on how they arrived at it when I read their own policy manual about what it states for mandatory expulsion. And I'll come in and speak to someone, please.
See, this is, and I'm trying to remain respectful because did you go to the manual about your sons putting their hands on somebody? What did the policy say about that, sir? Oh, you don't care about that policy? You don't care about that? Reckon maybe because they haven't indicted him? Reckon that maybe have something to do with it? Give him his diploma, because it's looking like It may be a no bill. So really your issue is with the courts, with the DA's office. But he already told you. I told you, sir. He invited you to go play some golf, you know, in my opinion. And he tried to tell you. And you didn't like what he was trying to tell you, oh Jeffy boy. So now you're going to take it to Frisco ISD. So here you go with that strong arm again. They supposed to have your back. Up the law. I hear y'all saying that Karmelo is right now, but up that. You're not pulling the statute and the manual of the stand your ground law, huh? See how you play around? See how you try to play smart and play in folk face? See, this is what God is trying to talk to you about. Your tactics. See how you picking and choosing. See, because what you should have done, sir, is research what the stand your ground law and why your son, your other one, Hunter, who initiated it, why his livelihood may be in danger. Why it wasn't cut and dry, sir. But you don't want to press the issue on that because that will expose the Metcalf. So now you're gonna strong arm the next best thing. Did Hunter get suspended for starting it? Pulling his brother in instead of pulling an adult in? Because we know this, sir, because Hunter was honest enough to tell at the beginning what happened. Now, he done changed the story since then. But why you not reading the law verbatim? Why you not asking the law why the law is the law? They conversation, their agreement by law. Because he said that the agreement they have is law abiding, whatever he gonna say in a minute. And they don't have to tell you. That's what I'm talking about. You change your heart. And I know that's not popular and people don't want to hear that. But he the one initially, first day, he said he forgive Karmelo. Where is your forgiveness at now? You don't forgive him no more? You forgive them when it happened? The Lord was on your side that day. He was in your heart and in your mind. Huh? He was leading you and guiding you that day. He ain't there no more? Where he at? You blew everybody's mind. Everybody was saying, who? Yeah, that's a God-fearing man. Some people called you crazy. But you was representing God that day. Where you at now? He ain't there no more? You mad at him? Because you were mad at him that day. What done happen? What done happen, sir? You found out that the law was more on Karmelo Anthony's side than your son's side. So then you took your I forgive him away. So that means that your forgiveness that day came with conditions. It wasn't true. You thought you was going to play in our face. But whose face you was playing in was God's. Now, I know ain't nobody broke it down to you like that. But I know how it go. I know the hustle. I know the hustle. I know the hustle with God. And I know he'll snatch some things from you when you least expect it, to let you know that you can't hustle God. Now, you may not have looked at it that way. Well, why else would you have taken your forgiveness away? You was representing God in a mighty, mighty way the day you lost your son. What has happened? That day, you knew he wasn't coming back then, just like you know he's not coming back now. So what has changed, sir? You found out that the law favored Karmelo and not your son. So now you bitter, spiteful, hateful, conniving, revengeful. Not because of what happened, because the law favors him and not your son. This is why I'm telling you that this is about you and God. And don't let nobody else tell you otherwise. Yeah. They try to get your attention. What's that old song? God is trying to tell you. You better go watch The Color Purple. Maybe God is trying to tell you something right now. I tell you, God is trying to tell you something. God is trying to tell. Maybe God is trying to tell you something right now.
I'm sorry, we're not allowed to let anyone in without an appointment.
Hey, Tari.
The father of Austin Metcalf wanted to hear directly from Frisco ISD Superintendent Mike Waldrop what he heard from media reports on Tuesday. Those reports are that Karmelo Anthony will get his diploma later this month, despite being under house arrest and charged with murdering Metcalf's son, Austin.
I've been stonewalled. Said, I understand the protocol. They said I have to make an appointment, which I did.
It was 6 weeks ago today when what authorities describe as an altercation between Austin and Karmelo led to one 17-year-old pulling a knife and stabbing the other 17-year-old in the chest at a track meet inside a Frisco ISD stadium. Anthony's parents, who claim their son was just defending himself, asked Frisco ISD to allow him to get his high school diploma. Sources say an agreement was reached that would allow that.
So I'm just curious on how they arrived at it when I read their own policy manual about what it states for mandatory expulsion and also graduation.
In a statement,
but not the diploma.
Texas, a representative for the Anthony family tells us, we cannot and will not speak about the agreement made with Frisco ISD that remains confidential and legally protected. However, it is truly a shame that anyone would go so far as to threaten a graduation ceremony or try to ruin a day that should be filled with joy, pride, and accomplishment for so many students and their families. Frisco ISD superintendent posted a message on social media last night, making it clear that Anthony will not be allowed to attend a graduation ceremony. No student who commits a serious criminal offense is permitted to participate in the graduation ceremony. But sources say Anthony's GPA was high enough to withstand missing the last month of school and still meet the requirements for a diploma. The school district tells CBS News Texas, if the student is expelled, they may continue their education through the Juvenile Justice Alternative Education Program. In cases where a student has completed all graduation requirements and is facing expulsion, Frisco ISD typically gives the option of early graduation instead of placement at JJAEP. The controversy has resulted in a new online petition to award Metcalf an honorary diploma next year, when he would have graduated along with his twin brother.
The fact of the matter is, it's not going to bring my son back. I mean, it's a nice gesture, but in the long run, my son doesn't get a diploma.
So they'll go to Spike. Y'all hear the Spike? They'll go to Spike. So even right there.
But sources say Anthony's GPA.
His GPA was already on point. He don't have to walk across, because you're right, he's on house arrest. But that don't stop him from getting his diploma. And sir, your son would have gotten his diploma had he kept his hands to himself, or if your other son would not have pulled him into some unnecessary, forceful, demanding mess. So it's not the Frisco ISD fault that your son would not get a diploma. It's not his fault. It's not their fault either. He should have kept his hands to himself. You can't break the law and expect for people to honor what you think it should be, or how it's supposed to move afterwards. He broke the law. He put his hands on somebody. He assaulted somebody in a state where you have the right to protect yourself. Stand your ground is still in effect.
It was high enough to withstand missing the last month of school.
And they have a program where he could have did homeschooling.
CBS News Texas. If
It don't even make sense.
Expelled, they may continue their education through the Juvenile Justice Alternative Education Program.
So it's saying that even though he is expelled, it does not stop his education. You didn't want him to be able to continue to get education, even though he was expelled. That's a problem. That's a hard problem. You got people in prison for murder and a whole bunch of things that could continue to get their education in prison. So why somebody on house arrest shouldn't be able to continue theirs? Huh? And you don't see that this is a hard problem? So that means that everybody who is locked up, because there's some people that's locked up for years that have masters, who have gotten several degrees in the penitentiary. And you telling me a kid who has not been indicted should not be able to continue his at home? Is that what you're telling me? So education stops the minute you get house arrest. Hell, if somebody hire you to work from home, you can work from home. But he shouldn't be able to continue his education and get his diploma because he's on house arrest, while they continue to investigate and try to find a way around the law to make you happy. Plant better seeds. It's just like the fool that keep trying to poke at me. See, them the seeds you teaching your kids. Even if it's called being a troll, you teaching them to be a fool. Say stupid stuff just to irritate people. Even though I said no trolling over here. You know, you see what I'm saying? They don't care. They don't feel like they have to follow the laws of the land. They don't have to follow rules. Let me keep going because I got someplace else to go, baby. You think, ooh, baby. And again, I was going to leave this alone. So what, to the lady, the people who reached out to me, I see everything I see what's trending. I did not want to talk about it because nothing had changed. They already said that they was going to try him as an adult. Nothing is new. Y'all just thought that the other case in Texas, y'all was just letting that die down before y'all brought him back up. And it looked like since Jeff Metcalf had planned to go to the media anyway, maybe he was the one who stirred it back up. Cause it wasn't nobody talking about it no more. So he staged this. Cause ain't nothing changed. But the exposure of him. So he resurfaced this. Jeff Metcalf. Because why else is the news media there? How did they know he was going to go up to the school? To the superintendent? How did they know that? How did they know? To be there with their cameras. Oh, he called him. Because wasn't nobody really talking about the case no more. Because they realized that the law really is on Karmelo Anthony's side. And all he wanted was his diploma. Because he can take college courses at home. I wasn't supposed to say that. Oh, okay. You trying to stunt his growth, and all he did was protect himself against a white boy.
In cases where a student has completed or tried to ruin a day that should be filled with joy, pride, and accomplishment for so many students and their families. Frisco ISD superintendent posted a message on social media last night, making it clear that Anthony will not be allowed to attend a graduation ceremony. No student who commits a serious criminal offense is permitted to participate in the graduation ceremony.
Graduation ceremony.
Sources say Anthony's GPA was high enough to withstand missing the last month of school and still meet the requirements for a diploma. The school district tells CBS News Texas, if the student is expelled, they may continue their education through the Juvenile Justice Alternative Education Program. In cases where a student has completed all graduation requirements and is facing expulsion, Frisco ISD typically gives the option of early graduation instead of placement at JJAEP. The controversy has resulted in a new online petition to award Metcalf an honorary diploma next year when he would have graduated along with his twin brother.
The fact of the matter is it's not going to bring my son back. I mean, it's a nice gesture, but in the long run, my son doesn't get a diploma. So there's part of me that says maybe Mr. Anthony shouldn't get one either.
In Frisco, JD Miles, CBS News, Texas.
Yeah, he don't even want the gesture.
Something burning. The latest hit movies.
I'm just giving the people what they want.
Got to give the people what they want. Let me see. That's only one person who how do I get out of here? I'm gonna see what. Yeah, I think one person. Let me see. Then I'm gonna listen to, oh boy,
those of
hold
us
on.
with service animals, preparation is key. Ensure your buddy always has their ID on.
And then I got a song to play. And then I'm gonna be gone from this. Hold on, y'all. I don't know why people come over here listening, can't stand you. Can't stand you. What y'all here for?
Controversy, criticism, and a father now demanding answers.
Oh, he played the same thing. Let's see what he had to say.
Will get his diploma.
I like his
Anthony is
tape.
a Bristow High School student accused in the deadly stabbing of Austin Metcalf. Well, Metcalf's father now wants to confront the district superintendent about this decision. Our JD Miles was the only local reporter there. He brings us the story tonight.
He says he just wants answers, but when Jeff Metcalf arrived at Frisco ISD's administration building, this is what he got.
Hi there, can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to come in.
Hi, Nancy.
I'm sorry, we're not allowed to let anyone in without an appointment.
The father of Austin Metcalf wanted to hear directly from Frisco ISD Superintendent Mike Waldrop what he heard from media reports on Tuesday. Those reports are that Karmelo Anthony will get his diploma later this month, despite being under house
Shout out
arrest.
to Urban
charged with
Politics.
murdering Metcalf's son, Austin.
I've been stonewalled. Said, I understand the protocol. They said I have to make an appointment, which I did.
It was 6 weeks ago today when what authorities describe as an altercation between Austin and Karmelo led to one 17-year-old pulling a knife and stabbing the other 17-year-old in the chest at a track meet inside of Frisco ISD Stadium. Anthony's parents, who claim their son was just defending himself, asked Frisco ISD to allow him to get his high school diploma. Sources say an agreement was reached that would allow that.
So I'm just curious on how they arrived at it when I read their own policy manual about what it states for mandatory expulsion and also graduation.
In a statement to CBS News Texas, a representative for the Anthony family tells us, "We cannot and will not speak about the agreement made with Frisco ISD that remains confidential and legally protected. However, it is truly a shame that anyone would go so far as to threaten a graduation ceremony or try to ruin a day that should be filled with joy, pride, and accomplishment for so many students and their families." Frisco ISD superintendent posted a message on social media last night, making it clear that Anthony will not be allowed to attend a graduation ceremony. No student who commits a serious criminal offense is permitted to participate in the graduation ceremony. But sources say Anthony's GPA was high enough to withstand missing the last month of school and still meet the requirements for a diploma. The school district
I'm
tells
with you,
CBS News
Urban
Texas,
Politics.
if the student is expelled,
I
they
can't
may
wait to hear
continue
what
their
you gotta
education
say.
through the Juvenile Justice Alternative Education Program. In cases where a student has completed all graduation requirements and is facing expulsion, Frisco ISD typically gives the option of early graduation instead of placement at JJAEP. The controversy has resulted in a new online petition to award Metcalf an honorary diploma next year, when he would have graduated along with his twin brother.
The fact of the matter is it's not going to bring my son back. I mean, it's a nice gesture, but in the long run, my son doesn't get a diploma.
Keep your hands to yourself.
So there's part of me that says maybe Mr. Anthony shouldn't get one either.
He kept his hands to
Go,
himself.
JD Miles, CBS
He
News.
defended himself.
Yo,
Let's
Big
go.
Ant, the spokesman, man. We back. Another edition of Urban Politicians TV, UPTV. Make sure you stay on your pivot at all times, man. Had to come tap in, and first and foremost, I do want to take the time to once again send condolences to the entire family
I
of
agree.
Austin Metcalf, his father, his mother, both parents, his brother, all close family. Anybody that's going through it and affected by the loss of his life, classmates, teammates, with this tragic incident that happened back in April, as we seen it all play out online, they are still going through it in real time with the loss of a loved one. Most definitely, seeing that happen to somebody at a young age, we don't want that at all. That's not what we here for in no way, shape, form, or fashion. So most definitely, condolences to his entire family and everybody affected by it. And God bless Austin's soul and may he rest in peace. And I had a link in the description where you can watch that clip in the beginning on CBS in full. And I'm going to get into this write-up in just a second from Capital News that kind of got everything spread all over the timeline today. And that's why I even put it in the title that way so people can know and understand what's really going on, as nothing has changed when it comes to the charges that he is facing.
Right.
He has already been charged with this in the state of Texas. 17 years old, you will be tried as an adult. Most of the time, I'm pretty sure there's some rare occasions where that doesn't happen in things, but for a murder charge in Texas, you get charged for, you're getting tried as an adult. But when you've seen it blasted all over the blogs today, it's everywhere on the internet, they haven't indicted him yet. He has not been indicted. He's already been charged. They never really got with the grand jury, and the grand jury hasn't made the decision for this to happen. The Coleman County District Attorney's Office is prosecuting Anthony's case. A grand jury will review the evidence and decide whether to formally indict him on the first-degree murder charge filed at the time of his arrest or on a lesser charge such
It's
as
been there.
manslaughter.
April the
If
2nd.
indicted and later convicted, Anthony could face a mandatory life sentence. Though, as a 17-year-old, he would be eligible for parole after 40 years under Texas law. Anthony is expected back in court once there's a grand jury decision if the panel decides there's enough evidence to indict him on any charges. A court date will be set. And on another write-up from Fox, it also is said the other day, Karmelo Anthony has not been indicted at this time. The case will be presented to a grand jury likely before the end of June. The grand jury will then decide whether to indict or no bail Anthony. When will Karmelo Anthony appear in court? No court appearances are scheduled for Karmelo Anthony at this time. And I just came to touch on it because I seen it start to hit all the blogs yesterday where they said
That's why he gets his diploma. Right there. Ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing changed. Nothing. That's why I wasn't quick to move on. Ain't nothing changed. And it was never said that he wasn't gonna get his diploma. He just can't walk across that stage. He can't go to prom. He couldn't do no senior activities because he's on house arrest. I get that. But they don't have nothing to do with his diploma. If his grades was up to par and he already had his credit. Did he have his credits? So why can't he get his diploma? Now, I am in total agreement of not going to graduation, not going to prom, none of that. He on house arrest. But his diploma don't have nothing to do with that. And right now, Frisco ISD do not want to get sued. Absolutely. He want to stunt his growth because a diploma don't have nothing to do with the issue at hand.
Put it in the title that way so people can know and understand what's really going on, as nothing has changed when it comes to the charges that he is facing. He has already been charged with this in the state of Texas. 17 years old, you will be tried as an adult. Most of the time, I'm pretty sure there's some rare occasions where that doesn't happen in things, but for a murder charge in Texas, you get charged for, you're getting tried as an adult. But when you've seen it blasted all over the blogs today, it's everywhere on the internet, they haven't indicted him yet. He has not been indicted. He's already been charged. They never really got with the grand jury, and the grand jury hasn't made the decision for this to happen. The Coleman County District Attorney's Office is prosecuting Anthony's case. A grand jury will review the evidence and decide whether to formally indict him on the first-degree murder charge filed at the time of his arrest or on a lesser charge such as manslaughter. If indicted and later convicted, Anthony could face a mandatory life sentence. Though, as a 17-year-old, he would be eligible for parole after 40 years under Texas law. Anthony is expected back in court once there's a grand jury decision if the panel decides there's enough evidence to indict him on any charges. A court date will be set. And on another write-up from Fox, it also is said the other day, Karmelo Anthony has not been indicted at this time. The case will be presented to a grand jury likely before the end of June. The grand jury will then decide whether to indict or no Bill Anthony. When will Karmelo Anthony appear in court? No court appearances are scheduled for Karmelo Anthony at this time. And I just came to touch on it because I seen it start to hit all the blogs yesterday where they said he was charged as an adult. This was already in place. It happened April 2nd, but he hasn't been indicted yet. Now, what did hit the news last week was his father coming out and protesting him being able to graduate and receive that diploma. I did see that, and I didn't really speak on it. I just left it where it was at. But now it's tied into this as well. Some of the blogs are promoting this now with the news that he's being tried as an adult and charged as an adult, but he hasn't been formally indicted. There is no real update when it comes to that shit. They don't have any dates. The grand jury has to indict you. It's an unfortunate situation the way that this played out. We've seen the multiple reports. He did tell the police on the scene that he did it, said he was touched, said it was self-defense, asked was he gonna be okay. We hear the stories of what led up to it, but we have not seen exactly what evidence that has been presented to the investigators and the grand juries in a way of what are they rolling with and what are they deciding their decision off of. Are they going to indict him or not? Now, in Texas, the stand your ground laws is that, self-defense laws is that. They are what they are when it comes to Texas. Now, what goes on in other states, certain times, it be certain situations. Now, y'all see me cover a recent case with Casey Allison in the Killeen area where he was found not guilty of murder after having an altercation in a fight with another student inside the high school bathroom. He was found not guilty of murder, but was found guilty of negligent homicide. That one kind of went under the radar.
Please get the likes up.
Happened 4 times. They were beefing back and forth. It was understood that they were supposed to fight. They had already got into a previous altercation at a prom event. And to our knowledge with this one, this just happened on the spot right there. That would take the premeditated situation out of it. And that was the reason why the jury decided not to convict Casey Allison of murder, and they just did the negligent homicide because they said in that moment it wasn't premeditated for him to
that's inmate.
The murder on Joe, and most definitely God bless him as well. Condolences to his family. They going through it with that loss, and that one didn't get picked up in Texas a lot, man. That one didn't get talked about it on here because I'm not here to like.
At Sweet Bee Organics, we believe in the power of nature's ingredients to nurture your body and soul. Unlike conventional products.
Here to like tell y'all how to feel. I'm not telling y'all what kind of opinion to have. I'm here to give y'all the facts. I know people want this to be that. They want to sugarcoat it. People are lying to themselves. I live in the real world. You know that the opinions about this are going to be race-based. You know the energy about this is going to be race-based. It just is what it is. The laws are the laws, though. I just want to tell people we don't want stuff happening to Austin like this. We don't want stuff like this happening to Joe. You have to keep your hands to yourself. That's just the best way to avoid this from ever happening. It's not worth it, kids losing their life. But the laws are the laws. He's looking at Casey Allison. Similar situation, a little bit different because it was beefing before, it was back and forth before he even fled the scene, and he's tops looking at 2 years in state jail. We have to wait to exactly what the grand jury is seeing and what evidence they're going to use and what they have been presented to use their decision making off of. So I just want to let that be known. He's not, nothing new is going on with the case, but I know it's in the blogs today. Unfortunate situations in both of these cases, but hey, I hate to see it, man. I hate to see it, but we can't come on here and spread lies. We got to tell y'all the truth, man, and I'll be honest with you, dog, just from where I sit. If the evidence is what they have and what they have said already, he will not be found guilty of murder, bro. It just is what it is, unless it's something else that went on that I didn't see, and this is just the way that Texas works, bro. Stand your ground, self-defense. You don't have to retreat. If you feel like the bodily harm was there, it's happened before out here already, y'all. So I'm not just coming off this for this particular situation right now. I can't tell his pops how to feel. His pops is going through it. Can't tell nobody how to feel who took a loss of this. But tell me what y'all think. We got more coming, videos, all that. 1,000 for shit show.
Shout out to Urban Politics, y'all. I always
Sean Combs is on trial for
I
his
always
life.
like his view and his take on things. Sometimes it ain't my what else it's not always what I like, but most time he's fair. Hold on, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to hold on. Okay, y'all, I'm finna get ready to go on here. But before we go, since I went in a little today, I think I went in from a genuine place. Whether I agree or not, you know, whether, you know, anyway, because I'm not trying to be mean and I'm not trying to rain on somebody's parade. But we're going to have to, hi Marlo, we're going to have to let God do what God do. And we're going to have to let the judicial system work this out. I think it's taking so long because it's obvious it's not cut and dry. And Texas is a stand your ground state. And he did not initiate it. It's self-defense. And then it just so happened that there was already a case going on. That child was white, that killed someone, stuck him 4 times. And they did not convict him of murder. So let's go out on the Lord. Can we go out on the Lord? Y'all the tea sippers? What time is it? What time is it? 3 o'clock. 4 o'clock? I'm back. I'm back on Diddy. So let me go and let the Lord use me. Baby. Because we going in. Court starts tomorrow. And it's going to be revealing more. I told y'all, this is not about, it's not about Cassie. It's about her, but it's not. It's about racketeering. It's about organized crime. And it's deeper than we think. And more people are going to be brought up and exposed. Because one thing is for sure. I'm doing great, Courtney. How are you? One thing is for sure. They nastiness at home between them two and the triple X escort. That's not the white parties. That's not the after parties where there are adults and kids that's being drugged and taken advantage of. That ain't even came into play yet. We think Cassie and Diddy, Dirty Diddy, as they call him, bad. Baby, please. I am good. I am so blessed. I'm talking, Courtney. So y'all, by 4, I'll be back. But in the meantime, we gonna pray for the Metcalfs. I'm gonna still pray for him. I want him to surrender for real, wholeheartedly, for real. I want Hunter to take ownership for starting it. I want Karmelo Anthony. If somebody attacks you, stand your ground. Yeah, Christine. Yeah, sometimes we have to go through the process. But I want us to, as the people, to start asking God, what are you wanting me to learn from this? How can you use me? How can I turn this around? How can I really heal, Lord? How can I allow everything that I'm taught in your word, I preach about? I mean, I'm just saying preach as me in your personal ministry. How can I let those things manifest within me? Teach me how to trust in you with all my heart and not to lean to my own understanding. To be able to acknowledge you in all my ways. Because that's the only way I'm going to know it's good. That's the only way I'm going to know it's good. Because me, I'm going to get ignorant with it. I'm going to try to, so the minute we remove God, it's a no-win, baby. So you got to say, Lord, listen, if you don't take over my heart and my mind, ain't no telling what I'm going to do. So, yeah. Listen, my nephew died. Baby, I started, baby. It wasn't nice. I could talk about it now. Don't mean it don't still hurt, but it allowed me to have empathy for people who may not have gotten my empathy before. I'm just being honest. But I started saying, Lord, you said in your word, that if I abide in you and you abide in me, I'm saying this, y'all, because I need for y'all to understand how intense it was that day. That time in my life. You said I could ask you what you may. All I asked you to do was protect my nieces and nephew, and you took him. You took him. He was a good kid. It's a whole bunch of bad kids out there, Lord, and you ain't took them. And I surrendered to, baby, listen. It got heated. I was mad. So I know how you feel. So I pray for him. I hope he get it. I hope he passed the test sooner, better than later. Cause ain't nothing like having to go to the end of the line. Ain't nothing like it. I can't stand it. And I have to remind myself when I'm about to remove God out of situations, girl, you're gonna have to go back to the end of that line. You ain't no skipping with God. You got to go back to the end of the line and start over till you pass that test. Pass the test the first time. You won't have to take it over again. This is how I used to talk to myself. Sometimes I still do. When I be about to let Laquita have her way for real in real life? Do you want to go back to the inner line? Be like, girl, you better calm down. You better that line long now. Yeah. So the message I gave to him, I give to everybody. The same message is for me too. There's no respect of person. So let's go, y'all. This how we gonna go out. Oh no, not that one. I know I didn't recognize that beat. Oh, that is. That's it. I just get. Always in the world. The dawn was sleep tonight. Yeah. Message of love. Yeah. Yes, see my big
Mm-hmm.